Julian here. Today I'm gonna be showing you how to make sort of like deeper kind of tech house. You may notice I'm in a different location. I'm staying with some friends right now, so I'm working with my friend's studio setup to do this video. And as always, you can get the samples and the project file and all the presets and MIDI from this video in the description for just $5 on my Bandcamp. The link's literally at the top of the description. So, like I said, I had this like tech house thing. You heard it already in the intro to this video. I'm just going to start tearing it apart. So the first thing, and probably one of the more defining elements of this, is the bass line. And the bass on its own sounds like this. It's actually very simple. It's just this operator patch that I made, which is a sine wave, and then I believe, a saw wave with a little bit of a release thing on the envelope. I set the sine wave like this, so it's just like a short little pluck. And then there is this little, I put on this filter, which has that filter envelope to go like that. And that's what gives it like the bassy kind of pluck sound. After that, I just put on a bit warmer to sort of fatten it up a little bit, because since I don't have a sub here, we needed to do that to make it just a little bit beefier. And yeah, as far as the MIDI goes, so this is where things get a little bit interesting. Not really interesting, but just something I haven't shown you guys before. So I have this bass line, and you can hear it's pitching. It's going wah, 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 wah. And the way I'm doing that is if you go down here and click on the second little icon that isn't highlighted, what you get is these MIDI control envelope things. And you can actually do you can edit a lot of stuff in here and make these little like automations, but I mostly just use it for pitch. And the way you get to that is you just select MIDI control, and then pitch bend will be like usually the first one. And so I just drew in these little pitch bend like envelopes, I guess, automations. And then it just plays that one note. And then on top of that, I have this Logic swing on there from the Ableton grooves. I use the groove instead of drawing in the swing by hand, like by moving the notes like this, because I'm using the swing on a few other elements as well. Well, really just one, but since I'm using it on another element as well, I wanted to have it be like sort of uniform across elements. So yeah, after that, I'll show you the kick, and I want to talk about something a little bit. The kick sounds like this. It's just this simple kick that I had. I think it sounds pretty powerful here. But the main thing I want to go over here is like how this works. So the way tech house works, in my experience, is the bass and the kick are like the sort of main elements. Like they're almost like the lead vocal, if you will, because this is all about groove and bounce and like making you dance. So you need the things that are making you dance, which is the bass and the kick, to be like the main things. And then after that, you sort of want to, each thing is more important, or it becomes less important the higher up in the frequency spectrum it is, and becomes like, needs to be quieter the higher it up. So like hi-hats are very quiet. Like these low toms, those are pretty loud. You'll see as we go on. But this all basically goes to say is like, when you start an idea like this, and this is how I started this one, I always start with a kick. Just simple, like this. Can't go wrong. And then start writing the bass line. I can't stress this enough. You will have such an easier time making tech house tracks if you do it this way, versus if you like just start with like a hi-hat loop and like a sample or something like that. But yeah, for the kick, there's nothing really too crazy. I didn't really process it much. It's just a solid kind of like thick, nice, full-body kick that just blends well with this bass line. I didn't even have to sidechain the bass because they're not really getting in the way of each other. And that's really the best. I like to, like, sidechaining sounds good, but I try to use it as little as possible because I don't want to, like, I don't want it to be too much dynamic, weird stuff going on. I'd rather let everything just breathe naturally. After this, I'll show you the hi-hats. They're pretty simple. There's just this open hi-hat that I have, and then this closed hi-hat doing like all the 16th notes, and then I have the same swing from the bass line on these on the closed hi-hats. So far we got this. Oh, whoops. And it's sounding pretty good. Like I said, the bass and the kick are really the foundation, so everything else comes pretty easily once you have those. The next layer I'll show you are these toms, because I really like these, and these are something that I hear a lot in tech house. Okay, sorry about that. So like I said, guys, the toms are something that I hear in a lot of tech house tracks. I like techno and stuff. These sort of like lower mid area toms. You can see I have this filter on here. It's like bandpass that I made with EQ8. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting out the low end, but I'm keeping this stuff, because I really just want it to be like in that area. And it sits nicely with the kick and the bass line, because the kick is mostly happening here, and it's not really happening at the same time as the toms. And the bass line is mostly happening around here, so we have all this area for the toms. And what I can recommend to you, I'll show you these without the filter, is find sounds like this. These like little punchy kind of like hits. They just sound very nice, I think. After that, there's a clap. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's just a nice clap sample. It's in the description in the thing you can get. And the last thing, because this is very simple, is just this little effects sample. And it just sounds like this. It's something that I found on some old sample library, or in some old sample library from like many, many years ago that I found online. And I think I pitched it down a little bit, and I just put this echo on here and this reverb. The echo is set pretty simply. The only thing I touched was the times. So I set the left to quarter notes, so it'll be like dun, dun, dun. And then this one, the right, is set to milliseconds. So you get a really wide stereo thing because they're doing two different things essentially. And then after that, I just have a reverb, which is pretty simple. I don't even think I touched anything. Maybe I turned up the decay time. I don't know. And so that's pretty much how it goes, guys. That's how you make like tech house, I guess. I wanted to make a video on how to do it. Here it is. You know, it's just a matter of starting with the kick and the bass line and getting those two things really right, and then just sort of build it up from there through the frequency spectrum, essentially. Like from low to high, that's pretty much where you want to go, what you want to do. This is really coming out badly. So I'm going to go now, guys. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to get the sample pack for this video in the description. It's just $5. Make sure to like this video, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another tutorial.